The sound of
Are
a
you
customer's
saying you
voice
can't
echoed
help
across
me
the banking
because of
hall
the
as she
way I
slammed her
look?
document on the counter. Are you saying you can't help me because of the way I look? The woman asked, her voice shaking between anger and disappointment. For a few seconds, the entire banking hall went silent. People waiting in different queues turned their heads. Some looked away immediately, pretending not to hear. Others watched closely, sensing that something uncomfortable was happening. Behind the customer service desk stood Amara, a young woman who had worked at the bank for almost 3 years. She was known among some of her colleagues as confident, hardworking, and someone who always wanted to look perfect. But on that particular day, her confidence had turned into something else: pride. And she had no idea that one careless attitude was about to cost her everything. The woman standing in front of her looked ordinary. She wore a simple faded dress, flat sandals, and carried an old handbag that had clearly been used for years. Her hair was neatly packed, but she did not have expensive jewelry or designer clothes that attracted attention. To Amara, the woman looked like just another customer who had come to waste her time. "Ma, I have already explained this to you," Amara said coldly, avoiding eye contact. "You need to go back and bring the correct documents." The woman looked confused. "But I was told yesterday that these were the documents I needed. I came all the way from my village this morning because of this." Amara sighed loudly. "Everyone says that. You people come here without knowing what you are doing, then expect us to fix everything." The woman's face changed. "You people," she repeated quietly. Amara noticed the reaction, but didn't care. "Yes, ma, you people. You come here and complain about everything." A few feet away, one of the other staff members, Cynthia, glanced at Amara with concern. "Amara, maybe you should just check the account again. She might have been given the wrong information." But Amara shook her head. "Cynthia, please, I know what I'm doing." She turned back to the customer. "Just leave your number and go. We will call you when there is time." The woman stared at her. "When there is time? I have been here since morning." Amara folded her arms. "Then you should have come earlier." The customer took a deep breath, trying to remain calm. "Madam, I'm not asking for special treatment. I'm just asking you to help me." But Amara had already made up her mind about her. In her eyes, this woman was not important. She had seen countless customers walk into the bank every day. Some came dressed in expensive suits and luxury clothes. Those were the people she believed mattered. The woman standing in front of her did not look like someone who could bring anything valuable to the bank. At that moment, the main entrance opened. A young man walked in, wearing a perfectly fitted suit, polished shoes, and an expensive-looking wristwatch. His confidence filled the room as he walked toward the customer service area. Amara immediately noticed him. Her expression changed. The irritation on her face disappeared and was replaced with a warm smile. "Good morning, sir," she greeted. The young man smiled. "Good morning. Please, how can I help you today?" The difference in her tone was obvious. The same person who had been impatient and dismissive moments earlier was suddenly gentle and welcoming. The woman in the faded dress watched silently. The young man placed some documents on the counter. "I need assistance with opening a new business account." Amara quickly picked up the papers. "Of course, sir. Please have a seat. I will personally attend to you." The young man nodded and sat down. Amara even offered him water. "Would you like something to drink while I process this?" "No, thank you." "No problem, sir. I'll make sure everything goes smoothly." As she attended to him, she kept smiling, hoping that maybe he would notice her effort. Maybe he was a businessman. Maybe he would appreciate her service and leave a generous tip. The woman who had been standing there for several minutes looked at Amara one more time. "Madam," she said softly, "I'm still waiting." Amara didn't even look up. "Please wait. I'm attending to someone right now." The woman looked at the young man, then back at Amara. "But I was here before him." Amara finally looked up, annoyed. "Ma, please don't start an argument. You can wait your turn." The woman slowly nodded. "All right." She stepped aside. But what Amara didn't know was that the woman she had just pushed aside was not an ordinary customer, and the young man she was trying so hard to impress was not the person who would change her life. The real surprise was still waiting. The young man continued filling out his forms while Amara moved around him with extra care. She explained every detail slowly, checked every document twice, and even called one of the officers to make sure his request was handled quickly. Sir, your business account will be processed as soon as possible, she said with a smile. The young man looked impressed. Thank you. I appreciate your assistance. Amara smiled wider. It's my pleasure, sir. She was enjoying the attention. In her mind, she had made the right decision. She believed she knew who deserved patience and who did not. Behind her, the woman in the simple dress sat quietly on one of the waiting chairs. She did not complain again. She simply watched. She watched how Amara's attitude changed completely, depending on who was standing in front of her. After about 20 minutes, the young man stood up. Thank you once again, he said. You're welcome, sir. We're always happy to serve valuable customers like you. The words came out naturally, but they carried something that the woman sitting nearby noticed. Valuable customers. As the young man walked away, Amara watched him leave, hoping he would turn around. He didn't. He only gave a polite wave before exiting the banking hall. Amara returned to her desk, feeling slightly disappointed. She expected more. Maybe a compliment, maybe a tip, maybe something that would make her feel appreciated. Instead, the next customer waiting was still the woman in the faded dress. Amara looked at her and sighed. You're still here? The woman slowly stood up. Yes, ma'am. All right, bring your documents. The woman walked forward and placed a folder on the counter. Amara opened it without interest. She looked through the papers. Then suddenly, her expression changed. Wait. She looked at the documents again. The woman noticed. Is there a problem? Amara did not answer immediately. She picked up one of the papers and checked the name, then another. Her eyebrows raised. Are you Mrs. Adaobi Okafor? The woman nodded. Yes? Amara stared at her. The name sounded familiar. She had seen it before, but she couldn't remember where. Are you the owner of Okafor Holdings? The woman gave a small smile. Yes. The atmosphere around the desk changed instantly. The same woman Amara had ignored was suddenly standing there with a name everyone in the bank recognized. Okafor Holdings was not a small business. They were one of the bank's biggest corporate customers. Their accounts brought millions in transactions every month. The management team always emphasized the importance of maintaining a good relationship with them. Amara's face became pale. She slowly looked at the woman's simple dress again. The old handbag, the plain sandals, everything she had used to judge her. And suddenly, she felt embarrassed. Ma, The woman looked at her calmly. Yes? Amara tried to find the right words. I didn't know. The woman nodded. That is the problem. Her voice was not loud. She didn't insult her. She didn't raise her voice. But her words hit harder than any anger could. You treated me based on what you thought I had to offer. Amara lowered her eyes. That's not what I meant. The woman looked around the banking hall. Isn't it? Amara remained silent. The woman continued. When I walked in here, you saw my clothes before you saw me. Those words stayed in the air. Cynthia, who had been watching from her desk, looked uncomfortable. She knew exactly what had happened. The woman picked up her folder. I came here today because I wanted to discuss expanding my company's banking relationship. I was considering moving more of my business accounts to this branch. Amara's heart sank. The opportunity she had ignored, the customer she had dismissed, the person she treated as unimportant was actually someone who could bring great value to the bank. Ma, please, Amara said quickly. I apologize. I didn't realize. The woman looked at her. That apology came after you discovered who I was. Amara had no answer. Because deep down, she knew the woman was right. If she had remained an unknown customer, Amara would have continued treating her the same way. The woman closed her folder. I don't expect anyone to know my account balance or my business before serving me. She paused. I expect respect because I am a human being. Then she walked away from the counter. And for the first time that day, Amara realized that the biggest mistake she had made was not losing a customer. It was revealing the kind of person she had become. The banking hall became unusually quiet after Mrs. Adaobi walked away. Amara remained standing behind the counter, staring at the empty space where the woman had been standing moments earlier. The confidence she had carried into work that morning was gone. For the first time, she felt the weight of her own actions. Cynthia walked closer to her. Amara didn't respond. She was still looking at the door. She really came here to expand her business with us? Amara finally asked, her voice low. Cynthia nodded slowly. Yes, I heard about it last week. Management was expecting a meeting with her team soon. Amara swallowed hard. So, she was actually... Yes? Cynthia interrupted gently. She was actually one of our biggest customers. Those words hurt more than she expected, not because of the money, not because of the business, but because Amara realized something painful. She had treated someone poorly simply because she assumed that person had nothing. She had judged a stranger's entire worth based on appearance. A few hours later, the branch manager, Mr. Daniel, called Amara into his office. The moment she entered, she knew something was wrong. Mr. Daniel was sitting behind his desk with a serious expression. Amara, close the door. She quietly did. Sit down. She sat. For a few seconds, nobody spoke. Then Mr. Daniel placed a report on the table. Do you know who Mrs. Adaobi Okafor is? Amara looked down. Yes, sir. Do you know the value of her relationship with this bank? Yes, sir. Mr. Daniel leaned back. Then do you understand why I received a complaint from her today? Amara felt her throat tighten. Sir, I made a mistake. A mistake? He repeated. She looked up. Yes, sir. I should have handled the situation better. Mr. Daniel sighed. Amara, customer service is not about choosing who deserves respect. She stayed quiet. You were hired because customers trust people like you to represent this bank. They don't walk into this branch wearing signs that show how much money they have. His voice became firmer. Some of our most valuable customers don't look the way people expect. Amara lowered her head. She knew she had no excuse. I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Daniel looked disappointed. Sorry is important, but it does not erase the impact of your behavior. Those words stayed with her. After leaving the office, Amara returned to her desk, but she could barely focus. Every customer who walked in looked different to her now. The elderly man wearing worn-out clothes, the young woman carrying a simple handbag, the man who looked like he had come from a construction site. She started wondering how many people she had treated unfairly because of her assumptions. How many people had walked away feeling embarrassed because of her attitude. The next morning, Amara arrived earlier than usual. She sat at her desk quietly. The usual excitement she had about looking perfect and impressing certain customers was gone. Instead, she watched people. A woman entered the bank wearing expensive clothing. Another entered wearing simple clothes. Both were greeted. Both deserved the same level of respect. But Amara knew she had not always believed that. Later that day, she received a message from management. Mrs. Adaobi had requested a meeting with the branch manager. Amara's heart raced. She wondered what would happen. Would she lose her job? Would the woman demand that she be punished? She waited anxiously. An hour later, Mr. Daniel called her again. This time, the expression on his face was different. Amara, Mrs. Adaobi has spoken with us. Amara nodded nervously. Yes, sir. She said something interesting. What did she say? Mr. Daniel looked at her carefully. She said she does not want revenge. Amara looked surprised. She doesn't? No? A small sense of relief appeared. But she wants you to understand the lesson. Amara listened. She said the way you treated her was a reflection of your character, not her appearance. Those words touched something deep inside her because she knew they were true. Mr. Daniel continued. She also said people should never have to prove their importance before they are treated with dignity. Amara looked away. She felt ashamed. The woman she had disrespected was the same woman who was now giving her a chance to learn. But the situation was not over because the bank still had to decide what action to take. And Amara was about to discover that one moment of poor judgment could change everything. The next few days were difficult for Amara. The atmosphere at work felt different, not because her colleagues were treating her badly, but because she could no longer ignore the truth about what had happened. Every time she sat at her desk, she remembered Mrs. Adobe standing there with the old handbag and simple dress. She remembered the way she dismissed her. She remembered the way her voice changed when the young man in the expensive suit walked in. And the part that hurt the most was knowing that she had done it willingly. She had not been forced. She had chosen who deserved her kindness. One afternoon, while Amara was arranging some documents, Cynthia walked over to her. You've been quiet these days. Amara gave a small smile. I'm just thinking. About what happened? Amara nodded. I keep asking myself why I acted that way. Cynthia sat beside her. Do you know what the biggest problem was? Amara looked at her. What? You forgot that every customer has a story. Amara looked down. I thought I knew who mattered. And now? Amara sighed. Now I know I was wrong. A week later, the branch manager called all the staff for a meeting. Everyone gathered in the conference room. Mr. Daniel stood in front of them with a serious expression. "We are going to talk about something important today." The room became quiet. "This bank does not only provide financial services, we serve people." He paused. "And the way we treat people determines whether they trust us or walk away." Amara sat quietly, knowing exactly where the conversation was going. Mr. Daniel looked around the room. "Recently, one of our customers had an unpleasant experience here. Everyone became uncomfortable. She was judged because of her appearance." Amara felt her chest tighten. She was treated as though she had nothing to offer. Silence filled the room. But the truth was, she was one of our most valuable customers. Mr. Daniel looked at the employees. "The lesson is simple. Never decide someone's value based on what they wear." Amara listened carefully. She knew this was not just a lesson for everyone else. It was a lesson she needed to carry forever. After the meeting, Mr. Daniel asked Amara to remain behind. Her heart started beating faster. She knew this was the moment. "Amara," he said. "Yes, sir. We have reviewed the situation." She nodded. "Your behavior was against the values of this organization." Her eyes dropped. "Yes, sir. You showed favoritism. You failed to treat a customer with respect, and that is something we cannot ignore." A heavy silence followed. Then Mr. Daniel placed a document on the table. Amara looked at it. Her heart sank. It was her dismissal letter. She slowly picked it up. "I understand, sir." Mr. Daniel looked at her. "I want you to know something. This decision is not because you made one mistake. Everyone makes mistakes." Amara listened. "It is because your attitude in that moment showed a mindset that could damage the trust customers have in us." She nodded slowly. For the first time, she accepted the consequence without excuses. As she packed her belongings that evening, she looked around the banking hall, the same place where she once believed some customers mattered more than others, the same place where she had allowed pride to control her. She saw customers walking in and out, different faces, different clothes, different stories, and she wished she had learned the lesson earlier. Before leaving, Amara stopped by the customer service desk, the place where everything had started. She whispered to herself, "I should have treated everyone like they mattered." Months later, Amara often told the story of that day, whenever she had the opportunity. Not because she was proud of it, but because she wanted people to understand the danger of judging others too quickly. A person's clothes could be old. A person's appearance could be simple. A person could walk into a room without showing any sign of wealth or influence. But that did not mean they had no value. Mrs. Adobe had entered the bank looking like someone Amara could ignore. But she left behind a lesson Amara would never forget. And the one attitude that led to her dismissal was not just being rude. It was believing that some people deserved respect more than others. Because, in the end, kindness is not supposed to be reserved for people who can't reward you. True character is revealed by how you treat people who cannot give you anything in return.